the Deal in the Cards podcast is proud to be partnered with Underdog Sports, our favorite place to play fantasy games. You're now eligible to play in Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, and 37 other U.S. states. You gotta check out Pick'em. It's so easy to play. You just pick 2 to 8 stats of your favorite players and choose whether they'll go higher or lower. You can win 20 times your money by going 5 for 5. If that sounds like fun, sign up with our promo code CARDS to claim your first free pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We can't wait to see your entries.
Number 30, right-hand pitcher Jack Ralston. The Cardinals drafted Ralston in 2019 out of UCLA in a class headlined by Zach Thompson, with other notable picks including Andre Palante and Pedro Pages. His career has been plagued by inconsistent command and injuries, but when healthy, he's flashed the stuff to be an MLB caliber reliever. Standing at 6'6" with an extreme over-the-top arm slot, Ralston broke out in 2024, posting a 2.73 ERA in AA, striking out 31% of hitters while holding opponents to a 196, 292, 351 slash line. What was his biggest change in 2024? The development of his splitter, a pitch that generated an absurd 54% whiff rate, one of the best in minor league baseball. The pitch sits at around 82 miles an hour, with 3 inches of induced vertical break and 5 inches of arm side run. And thanks to his outlier 7.1 foot vertical release height, he creates a steep approach angle that hitters just aren't used to. He pairs it with a 91 to 94 mile an hour cut ride fastball, which isn't anything special in a vacuum, but plays up when tunneling with the splitter. His 12-6 curveball has some depth but lacks velocity, making it more of a freeze pitch than a true 2-strike weapon. At 27, Ralston isn't the most exciting prospect, but his splitter is one of the better offerings in the organization. If he stays healthy and continues to show decent enough command, he's got a real shot at making an MLB debut soon. Number 29, outfielder Won Bin Cho. The Cardinals signed Cho out of South Korea in 2022 for $500,000, making him the first amateur player they've signed from that country. He quickly became a fan favorite with an 80-grade bat flip and a patient, all-field line drive approach at the plate. In 2023, he slashed 270, 376, 389 at Single A Palm Beach, finishing 8th in on-base percentage in the FSL as a 19-year-old. While his power hasn't fully developed, he posted impressive top-end exit velocities for his age, including a 111.1 mile an hour max exit velocity. However, in 2024 at High A Peoria, his struggles against off-speed and breaking pitches were exposed, leading to an 81 WRC plus over 107 games. While he handles fastballs well, his pitch recognition against secondaries remains his biggest obstacle. Defensively, Cho primarily played center field in 2024, but likely profiles best in a corner. His future depends on whether he can show improved zone awareness against secondary offerings, and if he does, he could develop into a starting caliber outfielder, but right now, a bench role seems like the more likely outcome. Number 28, right-hand pitcher Ian Bedell. The Cardinals drafted Bedell in the 4th round of their loaded 2020 class, selecting the Iowa native out of Mizzou. After Tommy John surgery sidelined him for nearly 2 years, he returned in 2023 and dominated at High A with a 2.44 ERA over 96 innings. His most effective pitch was actually a newly developed bullet slider, which tunnels well off his 2-plane fastball. His slider-heavy approach works against righties, but against lefties, he relies more on the kitchen sink, which wasn't doing him favors in 2024. His cutter lacks true glove-side action, and his changeup, while flashing plus movement traits, he has yet to show necessary feel for it to be an effective offering. His heater is a unique pitch generating solid ride and an immense amount of arm side movement, typically sitting in the 92 to 94 mile per hour range. Bedell reached AAA last season, but his velocity dropped with the switch to the MLB ball, leading to a rough ERA over 5 with poor strikeout and walk rates. If he regains his lost velocity and refines his approach against lefties, he could carve out a role in the major leagues as a bullpen piece. If not, his big league future remains uncertain. Number 27, outfielder Travis Honeyman. The Cardinals drafted Honeyman in the 3rd round of the 2023 MLB draft. Before the 2023 season, he was viewed as a potential first-rounder, but a shoulder injury sidelined him, causing his stock to drop. Since joining the Cardinals organization, injuries have continued to limit him as he played just 20 games in 2024 and all at DH. He showed an advanced feel for contact, quickly proving too advanced for rookie ball before moving to Palm Beach. However, his quality of contact was a bit underwhelming even for a small sample. He posted a hard hit rate of just 21.4%, far below what he had showcased at Boston College. Injuries may have played a role, but he would greatly benefit from a bat speed program. His approach remained aggressive, with a 38% chase rate, and he'll need to refine his swing decisions to reach his offensive ceiling. Defensively, Honeyman played all 3 outfield spots in college, but primarily manned the corners. While his athleticism suggests he could handle center, his injury history may push him to a long-term corner role. Honeyman's spot in the top 30 is hanging by a thread, and 2025 will be a pivotal year for the former Boston College standout. Number 26, right-hand pitcher Andre Granillo. The Cardinals selected Granillo in the 14th round of the 2021 MLB Draft, betting on his strikeout ability despite a 5.98 college ERA. That gamble has paid off as he struck out 31.2% of batters across 4 minor league seasons, and he's now on the doorstep of the major leagues. Granillo's best pitch is his plus slider, which he throws nearly 60% of the time against righties. While it doesn't have an overwhelming movement profile, his high 3/4 arm slot makes it tough to track, generating a 48% whiff rate and holding right-hand hitters to a 170 average. His 94-mile-an-hour fastball has a cut-ride shape, but he has a tough time consistently locating the offering. Against lefties, his struggles are glaring as his opponents reach base at a 41.2% clip. His slider becomes less effective, forcing him to rely on a fastball he struggles to locate and a changeup with a solid tunnel off the heater but inconsistent feel. Granillo has a clear path to be a future middle relief option with a slider that's already big league ready. To stick in a big league bullpen long term, refining his fastball command and improving against lefties will be crucial.
Before we continue this episode, we wanted to thank the presenting sponsor of the Deal in the Cards podcast, 314 Sports Cards and Collectibles. They're located at 9640 Olive Boulevard in Olivet and open 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 on Saturdays. They buy, sell, and trade all sports cards and Pokemon cards and have the newest selections of packs, boxes, and single cards of local players and stars from around the league. We can't wait for you to check them out and let them know we sent you.
Number 25, right-hand pitcher Matt Svanson. Acquired in the Paul DeJong trade, Svanson has been one of the Cardinals' most productive minor league relievers since 2023, posting a 2.76 ERA over 84 2/3 innings while converting all 38 of his save opportunities at Double-A. Svanson thrives as a ground ball heavy reliever, relying on a 95 to 96 mile-an-hour sinker with heavy arm side run and a mid-80s sweeper. His sinker is an elite ground ball generator when located low, while his sweeper serves as his primary strikeout pitch. In 2024, he added a cutter, but it still lacks the necessary glove side action to be a legitimate weak contact weapon. His biggest concern is left-handed hitters who teed off against him, posting a 342, 440, 500 slash line. Without a go-to pitch in those matchups, he'll need to refine his cutter and or develop another secondary like a changeup to be decent enough in those matchups. Recently added to the 40-man roster, Svanson profiles as a middle reliever best suited for right-on-right matchups. If he can improve against lefties, he could carve out a steady bullpen role. Otherwise, he may be a depth arm bouncing between Memphis and St. Louis. Number 24, right-hand pitcher Max Rajcic. After excelling as UCLA's Friday night starter, the Cardinals selected Rajcic in the 6th round of the 2022 MLB Draft with an overslot $600,000 signing bonus. He dominated the lower levels with his elite strike-throwing ability, earning Cardinals Minor League Pitcher of the Year honors in 2023. In 2024, Rajcic posted a 4.33 ERA over 131 innings at Double-A, but his tendency to allow damage ballooned in the Texas League, giving up 18 home runs after just 6 the year prior. His 92 to 93 mile-an-hour fastball generates decent ride from a higher arm slot and plays best at the top of the zone, but can be punished when left over the heart of the plate. His biggest development was his changeup, now his best pitch, with strong arm side movement and an effective tunnel off his fastball. He also reworked his slider from a low 80s sweeper into an 86-mile-an-hour gyro slider, giving his arsenal a more distinct breaking ball. Rajcic also throws a low 80s curveball that he flashes an ability to use in 2-strike counts, though the movement profile is average at best. Although Rajcic lacks overpowering stuff, his command and feel for at least 4 fringe average offerings, including a plus changeup, gives him a shot as a depth starter. If his stuff doesn't tick up, he likely projects as an up and down spot starter or a long reliever. Number 23, outfielder Zach Levenson. The Cardinals drafted Levenson in the 5th round of the 2023 MLB draft after a steady collegiate career at the University of Miami, where he showcased impressive pull-side power. He made an immediate impact in his pro debut, flashing strong exit velocities and a solid feel for hitting the barrel, especially to his pull side. Levenson carried that momentum into 2024, starting the season strong with a 272, 359, 474 slash line over his first 32 games at High A Peoria. However, his season took a downturn as his quality of contact suffered, largely due to an increased rate of infield fly balls. His strikeout and walk rates remained steady, but he wasn't making the same level of impact at the plate. An undisclosed injury then sidelined him for the final 2 months of the season. Levenson has some sneaky athleticism he doesn't get credited for nearly enough. He certainly fits best in a corner, but if he were to carve out a role as a reserve outfielder, I do think that he could handle playing center field in a pinch. If Levenson can rediscover the power stroke he displayed at Miami in his first 66 games in pro ball, he has the potential to develop into a future big league corner outfielder. Number 22, catcher Ryan Campos. The Cardinals drafted Campos in the 4th round of the 2024 MLB draft after a stellar 3-year career at Arizona State, where he hit over .350 each season. His offensive game is built around elite bat-to-ball skills and a disciplined approach, consistently finding holes and putting the ball in play. Campos displays plus swing decisions, remaining aggressive in the zone while rarely chasing out of the zone. His level bat path leads to a high volume of ground balls and low-line drives, though with his sprays, he managed to find success doing so. Campos' batted ball profile was unimpressive at the Cape Cod League back-to-back seasons with wood bats, giving some pause in how the profile will translate to the next level. Defensively, Campos should stick behind the plate thanks to his solid receiving skills and strong baseball IQ. He's a high makeup individual and a strong leader, traits the Cardinals love seeing from that position. His long-term future hinges on whether his offensive profile translates to pro ball. If his batted ball profile can trend closer to what it was at Arizona State than the Cape Cod League, he has a shot at becoming a future starting caliber catcher. If not, his solid defensive skill set could shine in a backup role. Number 21, right-hand pitcher Juan Salas. The Cardinals signed Salas as an amateur free agent out of Mexico in 2019. After 3 seasons between the DSL and the Complex League, he got his first extended look in full season ball as a 21-year-old and flourished, posting a 2.62 ERA over 113 and 1/3 innings. Salas has a traditional windup with a slow leg kick but features some aggression in his arm action. He's a command-first righty who has showcased a variety of pitch shapes, with his best offering being a 92-mile-an-hour carry fastball that he locates well up in the zone. The pitch generates 18 inches of IVB from a relatively flat angle, though it lacks deception due to his over-the-top release. His most advanced secondary offering is a changeup that he shows solid feel for against lefties. He also throws a gyro slider and a curveball and is tinkered with a cutter. None of them stand out from a pure stuff-based perspective, but his command helps them play off. Salas still has a ways to go, but his command, solid fastball characteristics, and pitch mix give him a shot at developing into a back-end starter. A few more ticks in velocity could also open the door to a future bullpen role. Number 20, left-hand pitcher Ean Henderson. Henderson was the Cardinals' 8th-round selection in the 2023 MLB draft. He pitched 3 seasons at Fresno State, posting a 4.18 ERA over 202 and 1/3 innings, while striking out more than 10 batters per 9 innings. Henderson is a quality mover on the mound and throws from a lower 3/4 arm slot. Despite the slot, he generates solid ride on his fastball, which averages 16 inches of induced vertical break from a 5.6-foot vertical release height. The pitch sits around 91 to 93 miles an hour with 10 inches of arm side run. While the velocity isn't overwhelming, the pitch plays up due to his deception, and I believe it's its best offering. Henderson's changeup and sweeper project as his top secondary pitches, though his usage of them is almost exclusively limited depending on handedness. Last year, his curveball was his most effective secondary, but it sits around 74 miles an hour with a fairly pedestrian two-plane shape. In the Arizona Fall League, Henderson introduced an 88-mile-an-hour cutter, adding a more gyrocentric pitch to help bring his east-west mix together. Henderson's deception and diverse arsenal found success in the Florida State League, but whether his pure stuff will hold up at the upper levels remains to be seen. I believe he has more intriguing traits than some of the other pitching prospects in the organization who fit a similar mold. If starting pitching doesn't pan out, there should be enough in his profile to transition into a relief role if needed. Number 19, infielder Cesar Prieto. Prieto signed with the Orioles in 2022 and immediately became one of the most impressive contact hitters in minor league baseball. He was sent to the Cardinals in the Jack Flaherty trade, which also included Zack Showalter and Drew Rom. Prieto's bat-to-ball skills are his clear signature trait. In 2024, he posted a 95% in-zone contact rate and an 85% overall contact rate. He pairs his elite contact ability with an ultra-aggressive approach, registering a 44% chase rate last season. Prieto's approach certainly raises some red flags, but I'm still a believer in his offensive game. In 2024, he added some power, boosting his barrel rate on aerial batted ball events from 3.5% to 8.5%, which helped him gain 44 ISO points from the previous year. Defensively, he's a fringe average defender at second and third base, and I wouldn't anticipate him playing anywhere else. He posts slightly above average sprint speed times, though his home to first times are closer to average for a left-handed hitter. I wouldn't expect Prieto to carve out a steady MLB infield role, but I do think there's enough in his profile to be a utility infield option off the bench, with second base and third base versatility and strong contact skills to boot. Number 18, right-hand pitcher Brian Holiday. The Cardinals selected Holiday in the third round of the 2024 MLB draft. A Tampa native, he began his college career close to home, pitching at Florida Southwestern State Junior College as a freshman before transferring to Central Florida Junior College, where he won a national championship in his sophomore season. He then made the big jump to Division I baseball with Oklahoma State, where he became one of the most durable and productive pitchers in college baseball. Holiday displayed elite control, walking just 19 batters over 113 innings, and consistently worked deep into games, pitching at least 6 innings in all but one of his starts. Despite lacking the size you typically see out of starting pitchers, Holiday is an athletic mover on the mound and repeats his mechanics well. His arsenal is headlined by an 82-mile-an-hour gyro slider that produced whiff and chase rates north of 40% in his junior season. His 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer generates solid ride from a lower launch and plays well at the top of the zone. He also features a big downer curveball at around 76 miles an hour and a changeup that will likely need some refinement in pro ball. Holiday is an advanced strike thrower with impressive durability, and his ultimate ceiling will depend on how much the Cardinals player development staff can unlock more velocity and stuff. While he may not have an overpowering arsenal, his ability to throw strikes and eat innings gives him a strong foundation to build upon. Number 17, right-hand pitcher Zack Showalter. The Cardinals acquired Showalter in the trade that sent Jack Flaherty to the Orioles at the 2023 trade deadline. He was an intriguing prep prospect in the 2022 draft and signed an overslot bonus in the 11th round with Baltimore. Showalter is an elite athlete who gets into an incredibly low launch position with his delivery, pairing it with a low three-quarters arm slot. He hides the ball well and throws what is essentially an invisiball with his riding four-seamer. The pitch generates over 14 inches of induced vertical break from a 4.6-foot vertical release height and sits around 91 miles an hour. Despite sitting in the low 90s, I still believe it's the best fastball in the Cardinals minor league system. Outside of the heater, the rest of the arsenal remains a question. He throws a 77-mile-an-hour sweeper with 14 inches of glove side movement and an 86-mile-an-hour changeup, but neither has shown the ability to be consistent secondary offerings just yet. Showalter's invisiball heater gives him the potential to be a high-leverage option out of a bullpen, but refining his command and hopefully adding a bit more velocity will be key to fulfilling that upside. Number 16, right-hand pitcher Luis Gastelum. The Cardinals signed Gastelum as a minor league free agent out of Mexico in 2023. He wasn't on my radar prior to the 2024 season, but quickly climbed my rankings and became one of my favorite pitchers to watch in the organization. Gastelum possesses one of the best changeups in all of minor league baseball. The pitch has an outlier movement profile, generating -2 inches of induced vertical break and 15 inches of arm side run. He relies on it close to 50% of the time and commands it at an elite level. Gastelum's fastball is mediocre at best with a two-plane shape, and he leans heavily on his changeup for it to be semi-effective. He also throws a mid-80s gyro slider that has some potential due to his spin traits, but his feel for the pitch has been inconsistent, and it's almost exclusively used against righties. He'll mix in a low 80s curveball on occasion as well. Gastelum's calling card is undoubtedly his extraordinary changeup, and I expect it to carry him to the major leagues. Whether he has or even needs enough beyond that pitch to handle high-leverage innings remains to be seen, but I feel confident in him carving out a stable role in a big league bullpen. Number 15, right-hand pitcher Darlin Saladine. Saladine burst onto the scene in 2024 as one of the Cardinals' breakout pitchers in their organization. He signed with the Cardinals in 2019 out of the DR, and after spending his first 3 seasons in the DSL in the complex, he finally got his extended run in full season ball and flourished. Saladine has one of the best fastballs in the organization. The pitch generates 16 inches of carry, which seems mediocre, but when factoring in his 5.5-foot vertical release height, it becomes pretty special. Saladine throws from a high 3/4 arm slot, but gets himself into a very low launch position. Not only does his fastball grade out well in a vacuum, but Saladine possesses the best fastball command in the organization. The pitch is consistently in the top third and often in the shadow zone where hitters can't do anything against it. He also throws an 81 mile-an-hour bullet slider and a mid-80s changeup, the latter being the more intriguing offering, though both are at least fringe average at the moment. The lack of a true bat-missing secondary limits the profile a bit, but there are starter traits here, and if not, I think he could fit nicely as a middle relief option. Number 14, right-hand pitcher Gordon Graceffo. Graceffo was the Cardinals' 5th-round selection in 2021 out of Villanova. After experiencing a noticeable velocity jump early in his pro career that led to a dominant 2022 campaign, inconsistent velocity has plagued him over the past 2 seasons. Graceffo throws 3 serviceable platoon-neutral secondaries alongside a below-average 92 to 93 mile-an-hour fastball. Even if his velocity gets back to 2022 levels, his secondaries will ultimately determine his success. His fastball saw around 50% usage in 2024, and I'd like to see that number come down, regardless of whether he can get back to sitting around 95. His slider is a bullet shape that sits around 85 miles an hour, and was far more effective when his fastball had more life. He also throws a 12-6 curveball with advanced feel, sitting around 80 miles an hour with above average spin rates. His arsenal is rounded out by an 84 mile an hour changeup, which is almost exclusively used against lefties. The pitch has mediocre vertical deviation and about 7 inches of horizontal separation from his fastball. 2025 will be a make-it-or-break-it year for Graceffo's chances of sticking as a starter. If he can add a few ticks of velocity and cut down his fastball usage in favor of his secondaries, there's still a path to him becoming a back-end rotation piece. Otherwise, I like his potential out of the bullpen. Number 13, outfielder Matt Koperniak. Koperniak was an undrafted free agent in 2020 out of Division III Trinity College. Over 4 seasons in college, he slashed .374, .464, .587 while striking out just 34 times in 106 games. Had it not been for the shortened 2020 draft due to COVID, he almost certainly would have been selected. He initially planned to transfer to Kansas State for his final year of eligibility, but instead opted to sign with the Cardinals as a free agent. Since joining the organization, all Koperniak has done is hit. In his first professional season, he jumped 3 levels while maintaining his plus bat-to-ball skills he showcased in college. After steady production in AA and AAA, Koperniak was poised to take the next step up in his development heading into 2024. Over the offseason, he went through a bat speed program and made significant gains. His hard hit rate and barrel rate jumped from 32.5% and 4.1% respectively to 43% and 6.8%. a game changer for him, especially given his opposite field approach. Koperniak fits best defensively in a corner, though his athleticism should allow him to handle center field in a reserve role. I like his chances of carving out a role as a fourth outfielder, but I don't think it's out of the question that he could develop into a starting caliber corner outfielder. Number 12, right-hand pitcher Chen-Wei Lin. The Cardinals signed Lin in 2023, making him the first player ever signed out of Taiwan in franchise history. He spent his 2022 and 2023 summers showcasing his ability to MLB scouts in the Northwoods and MLB draft leagues. Lin displayed impressive raw stuff, headlined by a mid-90s fastball, but his mechanics were all over the place, leading to major issues with consistently throwing strikes. Those struggles carried over into pro ball in his brief taste of the Florida State League in 2023. Lin broke out in a major way in 2024, posting a 2.79 ERA over 116 innings and showing much improved mechanics, leading to a walk rate of just 7.8%. Though his fastball has a suboptimal shape with only 14 inches of induced vertical break from a 6-foot vertical release height, it averages 96 miles an hour, tops out at 101, and features over 16 inches of arm side run. His best secondary offering is an 88 mile an hour changeup with similar arm side movement to his fastball, but with 7 inches of vertical separation. He also mixes in a mid-80s gyro slider, which is his go-to secondary against righties and played well in the FSL, though it lacks true glove side action and quality spin traits. Lin also added a high 80s splitter last year, a pitch he used sparingly but has potential. Lin's control inside the strike zone and velocity give him a solid foundation to build upon, but improving his secondaries will be key to fulfilling that upside as a potential mid-rotation starter. Number 11, right-hand pitcher Sem Robberse. Robberse was the centerpiece of the Jordan Hicks trade at the 2023 trade deadline. Originally signed by the Blue Jays out of the Netherlands in 2019, he quickly climbed their system. Robberse has consistently been one of the younger players at every level he's played in, yet he's managed to hold his own against older competition. Robberse's stuff isn't overpowering. His fastball sits in the low 90s with below average shape, but he makes up for it with a pair of exciting offerings in his sweeper and changeup. His changeup is his primary pitch against lefties, tunneling well off his fastball despite only a 4 mile an hour velocity drop. In 2024, Robberse adjusted his four-seam fastball shape, giving it a more distinct cut ride profile. Paired with his cutter, changeup, and sweeper, this gave him a more effective arsenal against lefties. His sweeper is his go-to pitch against righties, but his cutter and four-seamer made up nearly 60% of his usage, neither of which profile particularly well against same-handed hitters. He's experimenting with a sinker in spring training, and I'll be interested to see how it plays at AAA. Robberse is a polished righty with 2 above-average offerings, but whether he has the stuff to stick as a major league starter remains to be seen. If starting doesn't pan out, his advanced breaking and off-speed pitches should make him a solid middle relief option. Number 10, right-hand pitcher Michael McGreevy. McGreevy was the Cardinals' first-round pick in 2021 out of UC Santa Barbara and climbed the system quickly thanks to his advanced pitchability and command. But in 2022 and 2023, his stuff didn't hold up particularly well at the upper levels, struggling to miss bats and limit damage consistently. Ahead of the 2024 season, McGreevy made some much-needed adjustments to his arsenal. He added more sweep to his slider, shifting it from a two-plane look to a true sweeper, which gave him more effectiveness against righties. He also introduced a cutter, offering a new wrinkle in his pitch mix and helping bridge the gap between his east-west offerings, especially when facing left-handed hitters. His four-seam fastball also showed noticeable improvement in execution, particularly against lefties, where it became a more reliable swing-and-miss option. With his refined secondaries, McGreevy did a much better job of sequencing and tailoring his pitch usage based on handedness. He's still going to fare better against righties, but he's made enough progress to at least hold his own against left-handed hitters, an area that had previously been his biggest vulnerability. McGreevy's sinker remains his bread and butter, generating elite ground ball rates and serving as his go-to weapon against righties. He's never going to overpower hitters, and the lack of true swing and miss stuff does cap his ceiling a bit, but with improved pitch shapes and sequencing, he's raised his floor. McGreevy now looks like a legitimate candidate for a back-of-the-rotation role and brings enough polish to stick as a dependable innings eater at the next level. Number 9, catcher Leonardo Bernal. Signed out of Panama in 2021, Bernal has developed into one of the more intriguing young catchers in the system. Defensively, he's already well ahead of the curve, boasting a cannon of an arm and solid actions behind the plate. He profiles as an above-average defender long-term. Offensively, Bernal doesn't have a carrying tool, but the overall profile is well-rounded. He's a switch hitter with equal comfort from both sides of the plate. He's shown flashes of raw power for his age, posting a 90th percentile exit velocity of 104 miles per hour, though he doesn't consistently tap into it just yet. Right now, the game power projects as close to average, but there's room for growth if he can improve his ability to find the barrel more consistently. His swing decisions are trending in the right direction. He chases a bit more than you'd like, but it's a manageable approach, and he doesn't look overmatched at the plate. Bernal's BABIP skills and bat-to-ball numbers are both around average right now. I think there's more potential growth to be had in the power, though at the moment both his hit and power tools are right around average projections. Bernal was just 20 years old for most of the 2024 season, and he's already holding his own in full season ball, which is quite impressive. At the very least, Bernal's defensive tools give him a safe floor as a backup catcher at the next level, but if he continues developing offensively, there's a path to him becoming a switch-hitting, everyday backstop with above-average defensive value. Number 8, outfielder Chase Davis. The Cardinals selected Davis with their first-round pick in 2023 out of the University of Arizona, where he showcased one of the prettiest swings in college baseball, often compared to Carlos Gonzalez. He blasted 39 home runs across his final 2 seasons and made major strides his junior year by tightening up his contact rates. His pro debut in 2023 was a bit underwhelming, though it was just 131 plate appearances in the pitcher-friendly Florida State League. His quality of contact was poor, similar to what he showed during his Cape Cod League stint, raising some initial concern in how his power would translate to a wood bat environment. But after a sluggish start to 2024, Davis flipped a switch in June and became one of the most dangerous hitters in the Cardinals minor league system. He underwent mechanical adjustments, particularly with his lower half, and looked much more comfortable at the plate. From the start of June through the end of his single-A stint, Davis posted a 155 WRC plus with legitimate power and a manageable 20.6% strikeout rate. Promoted to high A Peoria, Davis again got off to a slow start, producing an ISO of just .076 over his first 21 games, but he rebounded quickly, putting up a .324 ISO over his next 9 games and earning a late-season promotion to AA Springfield. Davis has the raw power to be a true threat, but his ability to consistently get to the barrel will define his offensive potential. He makes enough contact for his profile, and his swing decisions are trending from too passive to the right balance of aggression and passivity. He's likely a corner outfielder long-term, but his athleticism and arm strength should allow him to be an asset there. Davis profiles as a power-driven left-handed bat who is trending to become an everyday corner outfielder at the next level. Number 7, infielder Thomas Saggese. Saggese has consistently produced at the plate throughout his minor league career, often while being one of the youngest players at each level. He was acquired from the Rangers in the Jordan Montgomery trade alongside Tekoah Roby. His calling card is his ability to handle breaking balls. He does most of his damage on spin over the plate and shows advanced contact ability, particularly against secondaries, which should translate well to the next level. While his feel for the barrel is close to average and his top-end exit velocities are underwhelming, he's consistently outperformed those metrics. His power stems from his ability to lift the ball to the pull side consistently. After a slow adjustment period at AAA, Saggese hit his stride late in the season, posting a 124 WRC plus over his final 55 games and earning a call-up to the big leagues. The biggest question going forward is his swing decisions. Saggese ran an O-swing percentage north of 37% last season, and that ultra-aggressive approach could get exposed at the next level. That said, he's acknowledged the need to refine it and discussed making conscious adjustments during his time in the Arizona Fall League, which is an encouraging sign heading into 2025. Defensively, he's most comfortable at second base, but he has shown he can hold his own at third and potentially handle shortstop in a pinch. That versatility boosts his value even if he doesn't become an everyday regular. If Saggese tightens up his approach, I could see him developing into an everyday second baseman with a well-rounded offensive skill set. More realistically, he projects as a versatile utility infielder who will find ways to contribute as a first option off the bench. Number 6, right-hand pitcher Tekoah Roby. Acquired from Texas in the Jordan Montgomery trade, Roby brings some of the most electric raw stuff in the Cardinals system, featuring 4 potential above-average offerings. His arsenal is headlined by a mid-90s four-seamer with solid ride from an over-the-top slot, but the pitch underperformed in 2024, particularly against right-handed hitters who consistently squared it up. Roby's best pitch is a hammer curveball thrown in the 82 to 84 miles per hour range. It features elite spin and excellent depth relative to his slot, and is an offering he shows the most confidence in. Roby also throws an upper 80s bullet slider and a well-shaped changeup with serious fade, tunneling exceptionally well off his four-seamer. Both secondaries grade out well in terms of pure stuff and give him an arsenal that could work well out of the rotation if he can continue to develop feel for those pitches. This spring, Roby tinkered with the two-seamer, which should help him attack the inner half to righties more effectively. It'll be interesting to see how that pitch factors into his plan in 2025. While the arsenal has the potential to be something special, I'm skeptical he sticks as a starter long term. His injury history and struggles with damage suppression make it hard to project him as a starter at the next level. That said, if the Cardinals shift him to the bullpen, his pure stuff could make him a weapon in high leverage situations. There's still mid-rotation upside here, and I don't think there's a reason to move him out the rotation just yet, but he'll need to prove he can stay healthy and turn his impressive stuff into sustained results in 2025. Number 5, catcher Jimmy Crooks. Crooks is one of the premier line drive hitters in minor league baseball. He has a natural knack for consistently finding the sweet spot and avoiding mishits, giving him one of the better batted ball profiles in the system. His contact rates are solid, but play up due to his advanced feel for placement and elite BABIP skills. Crooks' game power projects as around average, as he has a solid feel for hitting the barrel, and his top-end exit velocities are encouraging. He posted a 90th percentile exit velocity of 104 miles per hour in 2024. Defensively, Crooks is a strong receiver with the potential to be a plus framer at the next level. He's got a solid arm and the ability to produce plus pop times. He also fits the mold of a classic Cardinals catching prospect. Pitchers love throwing to him thanks to his ability to game plan around their strengths. He's also regarded as a strong leader behind the dish. Crooks' biggest area for growth is handling spin. He still shows some inconsistencies against off-speed and breaking pitches, which will be something to monitor as he faces more advanced arms in AAA. He made strides against left-handed pitching in 2024, but I'm still somewhat skeptical of how that will translate at the next level, especially given his struggles with breaking balls. Crooks projects as a solid left-hand platoon option at catcher with plus defensive value, amplified by his feel for the game. Even if the bat doesn't fully translate, the glove and intangibles give him a strong shot to carve out a big league role as a reliable backup. Number 4, right-hand pitcher Tink Hence. Hence dealt with some injury setbacks in 2024, most notably back and lat discomfort. There were also inconsistencies in his ability to recover from start to start and retain velocity deep into his outings, especially when he was fully stretched out. As he fatigued late in games, you could see his mechanics begin to drift, which raises some concern about his long-term viability as a starter. His fastball took a step back last year due to those velocity fluctuations. When it's sitting consistently 96 to 97 miles per hour, the pitch plays up significantly, but he averaged closer to 94 in 2024, and there were even times when he was sitting in the low 90s. His slider took a step forward in 2024, shifting from a two-plane look to a firmer gyro shape, giving him a more defined third weapon to pair with his fastball and changeup. Tink Hence's changeup remains elite, with massive whiff rates and excellent deception due to identical arm speed to the fastball. He throws it confidently to both lefties and righties. His curveball also improved, particularly late in the season, stepping up when he didn't have his best stuff. If he can show more consistency in bouncing back between starts and holding velocity, I think he's a long-term big league starter with the pitchability and command to settle in as a strong middle-of-the-rotation contributor. But if he's unable to make improvements to his durability, there's a real chance he ends up in a bullpen role. Early spring data has shown some notable changes. His vertical release height and arm slot are both up, while his extension is way down compared to his 2022 FSL data. If those release characteristics stick, he'll need to lean even more on his secondaries, as his fastball looks more above average than plus now, purely on the back of its velocity. Number 3, left-hand pitcher Cooper Hjerpe. Hjerpe has battled minor elbow issues in each of his first 2 pro seasons, throwing just 41 innings in 2023 before a minor procedure and 52 1/3 innings in 2024 before being shut down with inflammation. While durability questions remain, especially with his low sidearm slot, I see these more as isolated setbacks than red flags. When healthy, he's shown the ability to maintain velocity and handle a starter's workload. When on the mound, Hjerpe has been dominant. He not only misses bats in the zone at an elite rate, but also limits damage, ranking among minor league leaders in both avoiding line drives and generating pop-outs. His 13.7% walk rate is a bit misleading. He nibbles and doesn't get a ton of chase outside the zone, but his in-zone command is better than those numbers suggest. Hjerpe's fastball is his best pitch, sitting 91 to 94 miles per hour with 7 inches of induced vertical break and 18 inches of arm side run from a 4.1-foot vertical release height. It has one of the flattest approach angles in pro ball. His sweeper sits in the upper 70s with 18 inches of sweep and even more perceived break due to his wide release. He throws a uniquely shaped changeup with -4 inches of induced vertical break and 19 inches of arm side run with heavy fade, and improved his mid-80s cutter in 2024 with the help of former Cardinals closer Jason Isringhausen. I don't think there's a prospect in the Cardinals minor league system with more ace-level upside than Hjerpe. If he can find a way to add a bit more chase to his game, that would certainly help to reduce the walk rate, but from pure strikeout and batted ball profile standpoint, his results have been out of this world so far in his pro career. The Cardinals would be doing a huge disservice to him and to their organization if they were to prematurely pigeonhole him into a reliever. Hjerpe has all the traits to develop into at least a mid-rotation starting piece with an attainable ceiling to be more than that. Number 2, left-hand pitcher Quinn Mathews. No player in the Cardinal system boosted their stock more in 2024 than Quinn Mathews. In his first professional season, Mathews dominated across 3 levels before earning a late-season promotion to AAA. His rapid ascent in 2024 was fueled by significant velocity gains paired with his pre-existing advanced feel for pitching. Mathews brings a high-energy presence to the mound with a mechanically sound delivery that enables him to consistently attack hitters. He added 3 miles per hour to his fastball from 2023, now sitting in the mid-90s with a strong movement profile, generating 17 inches of induced vertical break and 8 inches of arm side run from a 5.6-foot vertical release height. His gyro slider saw a similar uptick in velocity, jumping from the low 80s in college to consistently sitting at 85 to 86 miles per hour in 2024. Early in the season, he primarily used it against lefties, but as the year progressed, he became more comfortable working it inside to right-handed hitters, giving him another effective weapon in those matchups. Mathews' changeup was his go-to pitch in college, and it remained a standout offering for him in 2024. He sells it well despite a sizable velocity gap from his fastball, though tightening the gap slightly could make it even more effective. His curveball, while clearly his weakest pitch in terms of raw stuff, still serves as a useful strike stealer. Already one of the most polished pitchers in the minors, Mathews shows advanced feel for 4 pitches, 3 of which project as above average or better. His fastball's effectiveness took a hit with the MLB ball in AAA, losing over an inch of induced vertical break and dropping about half a mile per hour in velocity. Fatigue most likely played a role late in the season, but it's something to monitor as his fastball could shift from a true plus pitch to merely above average. While Mathews may not have the highest ceiling among the Cardinals' top pitching prospects, his advanced pitchability and proven durability gives him a strong chance to develop into a reliable mid-rotation starter. Number 1, shortstop J.J. Wetherholt. If not for a grade 3 hamstring strain, Wetherholt likely wouldn't have been available for the Cardinals to select with the 7th overall pick in the 2024 draft. In 2023, Wetherholt put up video game numbers at West Virginia, slashing .449, .517, .787, and solidifying himself as one of the premier prospects in the class. However, just 4 games into his 2024 season, he suffered a grade 3 hamstring strain that sidelined him for nearly 2 months, and his performance dipped upon his return. While his exit velocity, chase rate, and contact rates remained promising, his batted ball profile took a noticeable hit, likely due to a compromised hitting base. Following the draft, Wetherholt was assigned to Single A Palm Beach, where he played a key role in their FSL championship run. His batted ball profile trended to more of a pure spray hit approach, displaying an ability to consistently hit line drives and avoid pop-outs, much better than what he had showcased in his down 2024 season at West Virginia. However, he still struggled to consistently hit the ball in the air, particularly to his pull side. Setting aside questions about his batted ball profile, the rest of his offensive skill set is nearly flawless. In the FSL, Wetherholt ranked in the 100th percentile in hard hit rate and the 97th percentile in both chase and whiff rate, showcasing a strong foundation for his hitting prowess. He excels at laying off pitches outside the strike zone while remaining aggressive on pitches he can handle, and he's equally impressive against both right-handed and left-handed pitchers. Defensively, he held his own at shortstop in 2024, but his long-term fit is likely at second or third base, where he has the potential to play at an above-average level. Although Wetherholt's ultimate ceiling will depend on his power production, he's a savvy, well-rounded player with very few holes in his game. He projects as an offensive-minded second or third baseman with all-star potential if he can tap into his power more consistently.